Hey everybody, come on in. Come on in, have a seat, get you a drink. Get ready for this good old review. And please let me know if y'all can hear me, because the other day I actually did a whole entire live on Facebook. What was I doing? Which live was it? Oh gosh, was it Greenleaf? No, it wasn't Greenleaf. OMG. No, it was Star. It was Star. And I had to binge watch like 3 shows because I had totally forgot even to watch those shows so I can do a review. And I did a whole entire live, and people were watching me like you guys. Nobody said nothing. Like somebody had came in on the live and they was like, "Hey, we can't hear you." And then I realized that the volume was turned all the way, my mic was turned all the way down. But thank God I was recording also on my cell phone on my Instagram. So I was able to save that video and then upload it on YouTube. But I was like, are you kidding me? I had all kind of people watching the live and nobody said nothing. So please make sure, if you can't ever hear me, just type in the chat, Tanya, we can't hear you, technical difficulties. But anyway, today we're going to be going over the last episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it's season 11, episode 3. And the title of the episode was called A New Edition. So make sure when you come in, you like the video, you subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And also make sure you share. Please make sure you share my videos on your social media platforms, whether it's Twitter or, Facebook or, whatever social media you use. But anywho, come on in, like, subscribe, share. Thank you very kindly. And also in the chat area is 2 links I always put in the chat when we first get started. The first one is to our Tanya's Primetime TV /media reviews Facebook page. So make sure you go over there, click that link to go over to Facebook. It'll take you right to our Facebook group and request to join that group, and I will add you to the group. And also the second link is to my custom cake decorating Facebook page, which is called Tanya's Delights Slice by Slice. If you want to follow me on that page to support me or check out some of my cake art, please feel free. Click on that link, go over there, like that page on Facebook. Thank you again very kindly. But anywho, we're about to get started on this live. And then I actually got to, after this, a few of our other shows that I do reviews on is coming on tonight. But I'm going to try to make some quick store runs, run a few errands, because I have a ton of orders for Thanksgiving. A ton of orders, from cakes to cupcakes, for the holiday. So I have to go out, and I tried to go earlier, but I had to work, had to get in some overtime at the other gig. So anywho, let's get through this review because I got some shopping to do. But anyway, I hope everybody is having a wonderful start to their week, a wonderful Monday. I hope everything is going well for everybody. Now again, this episode of Housewives of Atlanta, it was called A New Edition. The show started off with Eva and Portia. They are both at the gym working out with Portia's personal trainer, whose name I think she said was DP. Don't ask me what that stands for. But anywho, that man, he had some guns on him. He was kind of hot. He was actually kind of hot. But anywho, we were supposed to be discussing Portia and Eva, so I'm not going to focus too much on that personal trainer. But that beard and everything, Lord have mercy. But anyway, they were sitting around, working out, having fun, playing around a little bit, but, working out nonetheless. And after they were done, they were sitting around, relaxing and everything. And Portia was expressing to Eva, how in love she is with her boyfriend, how everything's going so far. She really does seem to be really happy with this new guy in her life named Dennis. But one thing she mentioned was how it's kind of hard for her to express those feelings to, everybody, like her friends and family, because, her relationship still at this time, it has been very short. So she hasn't been dating him for that long. And Eva, she basically tells her, you know what? She gives her a little advice and a little encouragement. And she's like, you know what? You and Dennis just do what y'all do. Just do y'all. Don't give a darn what the naysayers say, because it's all about y'all. And everybody is different. She was like, y'all might have been dating each other for a short period of time, but everybody is different in our circle. Like Nene, she mentioned how Nene been with Greg. She been with Greg for years, for like 20 plus years. Then she said Marlo. She was like, we all got Nene on one hand, who's been together with her man forever. Then we got Marlo, who's 42 years old and has never been married. And I was like, is she throwing shade? But, she really wasn't at first. But then Portia was like, oh, is that the only person you can think of that's 42 years old and never been married? But Eva was like, no, that's not what I meant. And it didn't even come off that way, y'all. It didn't even come off that way. But after that, it seemed like Portia was kind of egging on the shade, or was like, trying to push her to be shady. Because after that, she was like, you know what? Everybody is different. We got some people over here, who are going to be with their man for a long time. They've been together for a long time. And then we got, old Marlo over here. And then she started talking about how things were at the, when they went to Miami, and Portia had secured their, I think were they in a hotel? I think they were in a hotel. They was in a suite. And she didn't quite like how Marlo was acting all bougie, like she was supposed to get the best room out of everybody else. Remember how she had took Portia's luggages out of her room and put them in the little room that, Marlo was assigned. And then she moved all her stuff in Portia's room, which was a really big, nice room. But again, it seemed like Portia was like pushing her or egging her on to, be shady towards Marlo. I say that because after that, they start discussing Cynthia. And I'm like, okay, now I really think Portia is trying to be Miss Shady Boots. But anyway, she was asking her, what's up with you and Cynthia? How are things going with you? Especially when we were down, in Miami. And Eva started off with, things were great. Me and Cynthia, we was really, really clicking. She was like, I love how we was clicking. We was getting along. And then Portia was like, well, that's all good and dandy, but I really do like some serious modeling competition. That led to Eva, mentioning how people compare her to, Cynthia in certain ways. And Eva was like, basically giving her props, giving her her credit for being a great model. Cynthia is, I think she's 50. Is she 51? I think she's 51. So at first she was like giving her credit and giving her props. And then after that, when Portia said what she said about the competition, that's when she was like, oh yeah, you know what? She is older than me and everything. Basically trying to say she still got it and Cynthia don't have it anymore. But she was like, you know what? When they was teasing and joking around talking about come through Cynthia, show us how y'all used to do it. Come through Cynthia. Show us that veteran catwalk. I was like, the shade. Y'all know y'all wrong. Y'all know y'all wrong. Because Cynthia, she 51. But Cynthia looks hotter than a lot of people. Then she was making shade about her booty. Talking about Cynthia, the only model that she know that got a butt. I'm like, so what? Everybody ain't straight flat up and down like, most models are typically, really skinny, no butt, barely any curves, unless, of course, you're a plus size model. But anywho, it was like Portia was egging her on to be shady. Then she called her mother. She was like, we got to respect mother. I think they were trying, okay, when it comes to the catwalk and a lot of the gay people, way back when they used to have those houses and there was a mother of the house and all that. And they used to do catwalks and all that. Anywho, and modeling like underground. I think that was where she was getting that from, like that TV show that I do reviews on called Pose. I really like that show. Not a lot of people, are into it, but I really like the story because I like the storylines of all the characters. But anywho, that's what she was getting that from. To my mother, come through, mother, but we gotta respect mother. Because that's how they sound on Pose. But then after that, Portia was like kind of rethinking things, like maybe we going a little too far, because then she was like, okay, leave Cynthia alone. Leave Cynthia alone. And I'm like, hold up, you're the one who started it. It's too late now. Wait till Cynthia see this scene on the reunion, if not before then. But anyway, that was cracking me up. But as far as like Greg goes, when they got to that scene with him and Nene, now we all know that Greg had colon cancer. And he had surgery recently, about a month ago, they said, to remove all the cancer, from his colon area. And when Nene and Greg had visited the Anderson, which is a hospital, and I guess it's actually a renowned cancer treatment hospital, you could tell that Greg was really, really trying his hardest to be really strong. Under these circumstances, he was trying not to crack. Like some scenes, he was just like holding his head in his hands and just shaking his head. And he just looked like he just wanted to crack. But Nene's not going to let him. Nene got his back all the way. She's supporting him. She's so super supportive. And when they were telling him, about the chemo and everything, my heart like literally went out to both of them, to Greg and Nene, because of what he's going through, and also because of her, because she's like, I'm used to Greg, being the strong one, but now, the tables are turned. So she has to be there for him and be his support, because that is a cancer. Cancer is a horrible, horrible disease that can tear a lot of families apart. So I'm glad she's there to support him. But when he was walking down that hallway, singing, I ain't never heard that song before, but it went something like, never give up, don't give in, you were built to win. I don't know if it had like a tone to it or a harmony or anything. He was just kind of like singing, talking the song. And he was like, never give up. I'll never give up. I'll never give in. God built me to win. And then he was just like, oh, I think that's when the tears started falling. He just was like, I'll never give up. I'll never give up. I'll never give up. And then like the scene just went black. And it went to a commercial. I was in tears, y'all. I was like, oh, poor Greg. Like, everybody loves them some Greg. And he is like I call him the coolest OG I know. Because he's cooler than a fan, as they would say. But anywho, when he started singing that song down that hallway, never give up, never give in, God built me to win. I'm going to keep that song in my mind. When I'm going through stuff, that's going to be my little song. But anywho, I love how Nene is so supportive of his every decision. Like, even when the doctor was saying, we got all the cancer out the colon area, but normally, after this type of cancer, or, most cancers, they suggest chemo, because although they can't see any cancer, sometimes it's so microscopic that they can't see it until it gets a little bigger or it starts to, spread or whatnot. So they were suggesting him, what they probably suggest to all their patients, or most of them, we recommend that you get chemo. But Greg was like, no, I don't want chemo. I don't want chemo. And the doctor, even though the doctor was saying, we suggest this because it can reduce any risk of cancer returning by at least half. But he was like, nope, I don't want to do chemo. And Nene was basically like, whatever he wants, this is Greg's body. If he don't want chemo, who am I to tell him to get chemo? So, I mentioned this because I know a lot of people who've had cancer and people who die from cancer, and sometimes family members and friends, they try to tell you what you need to do with your cancer. Like they'll try to fight and argue with you and tell you, get chemo or don't get chemo, or then be confusing the cancer patient. They don't know which way to go. They be thinking, oh, well, this person told me this, so I'm gonna do this. Sometimes you just gotta let them make up their own decision. Talk to the experts, pray about it. Just be there to support them, because whatever decision that they make, you have to be there to support them. No matter what. And God forbid the cancer come back. Just like he beat it this time, if it's God's will, you know what? He'll beat it again. So, anywho, we all need to continue to keep them in our prayers, especially Greg. But, Nene too, because she's, part of his support system. So, let's all continue to keep them in our prayers. And then we move over to Candy and her good friend Shamari. Now, that's why they titled this episode A New Edition, because Shamari, we know, is a female member from the female group Black from back in the 90s. She's also married to Ronnie DeVoe from New Edition and from the group BBD, Belle Biv DeVoe. I remember, like, Black is one of those groups that I liked back then, but didn't always stay on my mind like other groups, like maybe TLC, Escape, other girl groups like that. But they were still pretty good. And I do remember that song called Boom Like an 808. At that time, I didn't know Candy had wrote the remix for that song, but I did love that song. That song was the ish back then. But then, Shamari, she is such a really beautiful woman. And from way back then, it still looks like, she hasn't aged one bit. But then she still is quite young. I did not know that DeVoe was 13 years her senior. Like, I mean, I wasn't like, looking all into their personal information. If I have a really, really favorite singer or artist or actor, I might look them up on Wiki or whatever, find out where they were born, how they're, we all do it. But anywho, I did not know he was 13 years her senior. And that explains why she really still looks really young, because I'm like, Ronnie got to be in his 40s, from the time they came out. From the time they came out, he should be around like 45 or 46, 47, something like that, probably almost 50. Y'all can look it up if you want to and give me the exact age if you want to. And just put it in the chat. But I think he's about 50. So that would probably make her still about, 30, about 35-ish, but anywho, she still look good, and he does too. I used to have like the biggest crush on Ronnie DeVoe. I used to have like the biggest crush. But anyway, she was cracking me up when she said that, ladies, he has so many female fans that sometimes when they be out, they walk up to her and just be like, excuse me, but do you know that's your husband? I'm actually married to your husband. They be like, that's been my husband since the 80s. She like, nah, sis, no, honey, no, boo. That is my husband. We is married. That is my husband. But anyway, she understands. He has a big female fan. A lot of female fans, from all over. But anyway, when they were sitting around talking, she invited Candy to come listen to her and her husband, because not only is their group trying to get back together, Black, their female group, but her and her husband started a group. And I guess from what I saw, she was singing, he was rapping. So she invited Candy, to come meet them at the studio to listen to them. So when y'all heard them, honestly, honest opinions only, how did y'all feel? Was y'all feeling the music? Was y'all vibing to the music? Do you want to hear more? I actually kind of thought it was okay. Like, okay, all right. I thought his little rapping was, okay. And she still sounds good to not have been, singing with her group they've been they've been around forever, and as far as I know, haven't really performed a lot over the years. But anywho, when she had said that when they first met, they had sex on the first night. At first I was like, when she said he's 13 years her senior, I was like, okay, I see you. I see you, Ronnie, trying to be a sugar daddy and all, back then and stuff. But when she said they had sex on the first night they met, I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, obviously, since they still together 17 years later, sex was not the only thing that they were feeling, at the time when they had sex, because you know how it is. Normally, after a one night stand, a relationship with longevity does not come afterwards. You'll be lucky if you hear from that person again, if you even remember their name or got their phone number, license plate, anything. But anywho, then they go over to Nene and Greg's house. Cynthia, she dropped by. Cynthia is always very supportive of everybody. So she dropped by, to show her support and check on Nene and Greg, see how they doing. And I thought that was so very thoughtful of also Tony Braxton being supportive. She done put Nene in touch with one of her holistic wellness persons. And I don't know any holistic people, but I do know that a lot of people, when they're going through cancer, sometimes they seek or reach out to holistic wellness people, because sometimes things other than medicine do work for certain people. They actually, got her some healing trees. She was like, if this stuff helps Greg get well and help him from getting sick and heal him from all them cancer cells, I'll buy a whole forest of these trees. So I think she had actually bought, like, I don't know, it looked like she had like 3 or 4. But anyway, I fill the whole house up with trees. But anyway, Greg was also explaining to Nene, I mean, not to Nene, but to Cynthia, being he has been going through this cancer and fighting it and battling it. And so far, it looks like he's kicking cancer in the ass. He's cancer free right now. He's not doing the chemo. Gonna have faith that is not coming back. But he also wants to help other men and be supportive to others. So he's going to do that. He's going to reach out to men and he's going to go talk to them about, cancer and, just kind of be a support system. And I love how they are so very open with this as well. On this reality show, it's very touching. It's kind of very private moments that they're actually having on air too. One thing about it, it's definitely going to reach those who are trying to be strong, either for themselves or either for somebody else, like a family member or a really good friend. So I do love that. And besides that, being so open on the reality show is also kind of like guaranteeing them their bags, because it's definitely going to keep your job, keep you with job security. No shade to who who. We all know who I'm referring to. Anyway, Kenya Moore. But you know what? Check this out. Candy, she actually called up Eva and Portia to invite them to Black's performance. Now, I wasn't surprised when she called Eva, of course, but when she called Portia, I was thinking, dang, they really must be cool right now, because they was beefing some horrible last season. And when Portia had invited Candy down to Miami at the beginning of this season, I don't think Candy would have came if she wouldn't have known that it was for the sake of Nene, to support her while she does her little comedy show and everything. But anywho, Shamari is actually one of Portia's friends, good friends from high school. So she might have already been invited or might have already been planning to come. But I still think that was cool how, Candy sent her out a personal invite or called her up, invited her personally. But on the night of Black's performance, they was at ATL at I think it was called the ATL live event, and everybody was looking fabulous. I was like, ooh, look at my hubby Ronnie looking all good in that blue, that green jersey. Don't tell Shamari I said that was my husband. But seriously though, hanging out with the ladies is probably a great thing for Nene because ladies, y'all know when we have a ladies night, sometimes that can be just what we need, right up our alley when we going through stuff, either with them darn kids or with our husband, or in this case, they're dealing with cancer and everything. So that was good for them to get Nene out the house too. And I thought Black sounded pretty good. I thought they sounded really, really good. But then after the performance, Cynthia, she tells them, I'm thinking of having a, Bailey Q. I guess that's what she called her, barbecues. So she's like, I'm going to have a Bailey Q. And she's going to be throwing that. And just like me, Cynthia's just like me. When I have barbecues, I make it like a potluck. Like everybody bring some. Everybody bring a dish, some drinks, bring something, some meat to go on the grill, a side dish, some fruit, cheese and crackers. Just bring something instead of just bringing your face and your 3, 4, 5, 11 kids and your boyfriends and girlfriends that don't nobody know because you always bringing a different one to the barbecue. And people be like, hey, what's her name? Calling them the wrong names and stuff. Oh, that ain't Tammy. Oh, my bad. That's it. But y'all know what I'm talking about. But then Candy had me cracking up when Ronnie had walked up to the table. And I guess they had recently done, the Escape tour. And Candy was performing a course with Escape. And BBD was one of the groups that, opened up for Escape. And he was up there, trying to critique them and telling them, they sounded incredible. They got hits. And placement. When he said placement, Candy was like, what placement? What you mean? He's like, well, y'all have a long history of... I guess Candy got offended. She was like, placement? How the heck he gonna try to tell me or critique me when, excuse me, but didn't y'all open up for us? I was like, well, yeah, you did. And even all the other ladies, was in the green room, like Cynthia and Nene and all them, like, who is he to try to critique her on their show? And I have never seen Escape perform live. But every time I see them perform, no matter what set they're on, whether it's rehearsal on the Housewives show or watching them on TV, at an event or an award show, they always sound absolutely amazing every time. Like they ain't skipped a darn beat since back in the day. So yeah, he should have just gave them their credit. Give them credit where credit is due. Told them y'all sounded fabulous and move it on. But anywho, still love you, Ronnie. But what do y'all think about this? Candy has a lot of opinions from the beginning. We only on episode 3, but from the beginning of the season, she has had a lot to say about Portia's boyfriend. What do y'all think about all her opinions and thoughts of Portia's boyfriend, Dennis? Again, she brings it up, and this time it's to her friend Carmen. She was like, yeah, we went to Miami, to go support Nene and everything. And Portia was down there discussing her boyfriend. And Candy basically was like, I didn't want to hear it. I was like, I can't do Candy's face, but she'd be like, I don't want to hear nothing about that man. But then she claims she doesn't know him personally, but she knows people who have dated him. And she keeps making it sound like he's either out there like that or just maybe no good for Portia. So what do y'all think about that? It seems like everybody she talks to, she has to say something about Portia's boyfriend. And then when Candy's other friend showed up, her name is Jamie, and like 3 years ago, her and Portia actually got in a fight, and Portia actually beat her down to the ground. But yeah, Portia can fight. She can kick and she can fight. I know y'all remember that one scene where she was kicked. Oh Lord. Anywho, or was that Cynthia? I think that was Cynthia. But anyway, these women can fight. But that was about 3 years ago. But anyway, she walks in and she meets with Candy and Carmen, and Candy starts telling her about Portia's new man. So evidently, allegedly, this is what's being said by Candy, that Candy and the friends, by the way. But evidently, Dennis's ex is Jamie's friend. And her friend was dating Dennis when Dennis started dating Portia. And Candy was like, well, hold up. That ain't all he was dating, because he was dating several people when he was with Jamie. So we might as well throw Portia into the pot too. I don't know how many people he was dating altogether. This is just, what they were saying on the show. And then Jamie also said when her friend found out about Portia, she literally broke down from heartbreak. She was crying and everything. But I don't know how I feel either if my man left me for somebody that looked like Portia. Not saying that girl probably was not as cute as Portia or anything like that, but the way she was making it seem like, for real, on a serious tip, for real, it just seemed like she was probably, in love with her man and probably really wanted to be with him, and he left her for Portia, allegedly. Now, I don't know this man, but it does seem like him and Portia are very, very happy. But they still just throwing all this shade around, and then they said Dennis got Portia's name tatted up on him. And Jamie was like, well, that ain't nothing new. Every woman he get with, he put their name on him. So I just assume that he got tattoos of all these different women names all over his body, all over his man parts. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know this man, but they just keep throwing all this shade at Portia's boyfriend. And again, it seemed like they are genuinely happy, on the show. This is only episode 3, but that's just, what I see. And then they were also insinuating that he was a liar. He's a con. Like when they were saying, don't believe him if he ever tells you that he's cooking you dinner or preparing food for you, because what he actually does is has another woman go out and buy all the stuff and cook it. I'm like, come on now. Y'all cannot be serious. Y'all cannot be serious. He says he's going to cook dinner for his woman and then has another one of his women actually cook. I don't know. I think they dragging it out. I cannot believe that. I'm not going to believe that one. But anywho, we shall see. But then in the other scene, when Portia was with her mom and hanging out with her assistant Dominic, her mom was like, Portia, I love her mom. I love her mom. And she looks just like her. But she was like, looks like you gaining a little weight, child. They all country. You gaining a little weight, child. Portia was like, well, it's just a little, love, weight, just, because everybody always say people, when they get into relationships, they gain weight. I don't know if it's true for men and women, but people do say that when you get in a relationship and you're all in love and all that, you just gain weight. So I don't know. But anywho, I don't know. I was wondering at that time, I wonder if Portia was pregnant at that time, or if she knew she was pregnant at that time, because she did have like a little pouch, with that little dress on. You did see her little pouch, or her love weight, as she want to call it. But anywho, I thought she still was cute. Portia's so cute. She's a pretty woman. But her mom was just like so over the moon, like ecstatic, like overjoyed, like she is so happy that Portia, her precious Portia, is in love with a man, and that man is actually in love with her precious Portia. She was up there crying and hugging her, and I'm like, dang. I ain't never seen nobody so happy that their daughter is in a relationship. And keep in mind, they only recently met at that time, like a few months ago. So anywho, I don't know. But I was like, wow, this is a bit too much. I don't know what to believe. I'm like, okay, is this man a man whore? Or is he not a man whore? I don't know. But either way, Portia sure seems to, she sure seems to love him or be in love with him, or I don't know. Again, they look happy to me. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. That was season 11, episode 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and the title of the episode was called A New Edition. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about that episode. Put it down in the chat, put it in the comments, and even after the video is over, y'all know that I will be able to get notifications of your comments, and I can hit you back anytime, you know, in the comment section. And don't forget, you guys, make sure you like the video on your way in. Make sure you also share the video on your social media platforms, and also subscribe if you are not already a subscriber. Please and thank you very, very kindly. And also, don't forget, in the chat section is the first link that I posted is the link to our Facebook group. Click that link and it takes you right to our Tanya's Primetime TV Facebook group. Click request to join and I will add you to the group. Now, the second link, again, is my custom cake decorating page. If you want to follow me over there or, you know, show me some support, just go over there, like my page, and you can scroll through and look at, you know, a lot of pictures of my cake art. And again, please like the video, like, share, subscribe. Thank you very kindly. I hope you all enjoyed this review. And in the meantime and in between time, Primetime Squad, as usual, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out.